welcome everybody. Make sure I'm off of mute here. My name is Zach Olson, and as always, thanks for joining us today for another installment of the Iowa Center's Small Business Essentials series. First things first, we are recording so we can share this on our website, and that should be up a little later this week. We're going to be sharing links and resources in the chat throughout, so keep an eye on that, and please share your questions and comments as you think of them. We'll stop anytime we have a relevant question to discuss a little bit. Owning and operating your own small business requires organization and communication with clients, vendors, and your community. All that can be a little daunting at times, but fortunately there are myriad options available to help keep your business on track and running smoothly. And one of those options is the Microsoft Office Suite. Here today to help us familiarize ourselves with these products is Pamela Smith. Pam is a Microsoft Office specialist, and for over 25 years, she's been educating individuals and corporations on the features of Microsoft Office, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. More recently, she has helped train on the features of Office 365, which includes notable additions such as OneDrive, Teams, and OneNote. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Pam to talk about Office tools and 365 subscriptions.
Great. Thanks, Zach. Well, good afternoon. As Zach mentioned, my name is Pamela Smith. I am a Microsoft Office trainer for Spindustry Training. My company is a small business. We have approximately 40 employees. And I'd like to give you some information on the various Microsoft apps that can help you run your business. You should have, or you will have, a handout after the training of the PowerPoint presentation. So you'll have all of this information to look at. And I will also give you my email address. So if you've got questions, you can get a hold of me as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video camera. I like to have that on just to begin with so you can put a face with a name. But then I'm going to make it easier for you to watch the screen by turning off my video. Okay. So first of all, there are two ways to use Microsoft products. There's the Microsoft Office Suite, and the Microsoft Office Suite has been around for many years. Think of this as access to the basic Office apps, and your basics would be Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint. It's a one-time purchase for the version of Office. So you may have had Excel 2010 or upgraded to Excel 2013, 2016, and now I think the newest is 2019. So that's a one-time purchase for the version of these products. And when you want to upgrade to a new version, you're buying the whole new version. Okay, so this is how things used to be done. Now we also have what's called Microsoft 365. They just changed the name. It was Office 365, but Microsoft encompasses more, so they call it Microsoft 365. Your Microsoft 365 gives you access to the Office Suite products listed above, the Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint, and access to Microsoft 365 apps. And here's just a few of those apps. And we're going to talk about these different apps and kind of see what can those apps do for your business. This is a yearly subscription that updates automatically. So you pay a yearly fee, and if there's an update to Word, they push that out to your computer. If there are some changes in Teams or Planner, those things appear on your computer, and then they'll give you like a little comment that says, look at this feature, or this is new. So you kind of know when things are new and what's coming out. Okay, with that being said, I would like you to fill out a poll. We've just got a quick survey that I'd like you to fill in. And we're going to use this information, first of all, to get an idea of who has what software. And then I'm also going to show you how this was created in Microsoft Forms. So let me show you what that looks like. Give me just a second here. Okay. So it is going to be in your chat that you can click on a link. And I'm going to click on a link as if I'm filling out this survey. So Zach, let me know if that is ready for everyone.
I just put it in the chat.
Okay, so you should be able to click on that link. And so the question, just a couple of questions. I just want to know, are you currently using any Microsoft Office software? The Office suite would be Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, maybe all four, or maybe just a couple of those. Or if you have Microsoft 365, you have Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint, but you also have OneDrive, Teams, Planner, Forms. A lot of those you might not even realize you have. So just choose one of those. If you have neither, choose the third answer. So I'll fill this out too so you can kind of see how this works. So the second question is, what's your comfort level? If you have the Microsoft Office suite, are you comfortable with the products you're using? Very comfortable, somewhat, kind of in the middle, very uncomfortable, or never used it. So just go ahead and fill those items out. I'll fill that out for both of those. Maybe never used either one of them. That might be an answer. And then if you could just give me a name or your business name. Let's do a name here. You don't have to put a last name unless you want to. And then just tell me a little bit about your business. So what's your business name, and what do you do? What's your business do? Okay, so this is a quick little form, but what's nice about this form, you click submit, and then I receive your answers all combined together in a report. So go ahead and click on submit if you haven't done that yet. It'll take a few minutes for me to see that. I'm gonna also refresh my screen. Oh, I've got 8 responses.
And Pam, while we're waiting for those to come in, we have a question from Tony.
Okay.
Is there still a way to buy Microsoft Office?
You know, that is a good question. I'm not real good on that end. Zach, do you know, is that still available that you can just purchase the Office suite without the subscription?
I'm actually not sure of that at the moment either. I've been using 365 for a few years now, but let me look into that right now and try to get everybody an answer.
Great question, Tony. See, you stumped us both. Okay, I'm going to refresh my screen again. See if I have 8 responses. So I just want to look at your responses, kind of get an idea of where everyone is. This is Microsoft Forms. So I'm in the Microsoft 365 software, and this is one of the apps, Microsoft Forms, and I've created a small business survey. I click on it, I can see the questions, but I can go over, you won't be able to do this, but I can go over to responses because I created this. And I can see that, oh, 6 people have Microsoft 365, yay, and 2 have the Office suite, wonderful. I didn't know what we'd come into to begin with, if people would not have it at all or have some things. And then I can see our comfort levels here. And if I want more detail, each one of these questions has more detail. So I can see who answered what. Good, I've got some names here. And then I've got, oh, I want to look at so I've got some information here. Great, that's perfect, everybody. Okay, and then I can even take this information, I can open it in Excel. I'll just show you what that looks like. Forms was not the first thing on my list, but it's kind of cool to see what this looks like. I'm going to open this Excel spreadsheet. And I'll bring this over. So most importantly, column F. Let's bring this over here a little bit. Okay, starting with column F is really where we want to see things. So here's how people answered the questions. And then I've got the person's name and what is your business. So all of that's in an Excel spreadsheet. So I could take that information, I could filter that list, I could sort it. So I could just see if you're sending this out to your clients or your customers and you want them to fill in the form. You didn't have to send anything back to me. When you submitted it, it came to me automatically. So I love that I can get feedback right away. Now, we'll add something at the end of the class, so we will come back to that a little bit later. And let me get back to my PowerPoint. Okay, so now that I've kind of got an idea of where people are, this will be a lot easier to kind of gear things to what you might be interested in. So the 2 ways to use the Microsoft products. Let's start with the Microsoft Office suite. And I just want to tell you a couple things about the software and the features of the Microsoft suite. And we're talking about the 4 apps on this one, which would be Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. Those are the main apps. So Excel's probably the most popular software. And with Excel, you can create spreadsheets. So Excel can be used to create formulas. You can create a list. Maybe you have a list of all of your clients or all of your employees, all of your inventory. And then you can sort, you can filter, you can use it in a mail merge. So you can create lists in Excel. Pivot tables is a way to summarize a list. So let's say I have a list of all of my inventory, maybe what I've sold, who I've sold it to, what date I sold it. A pivot table can tell me what's the total amount that's been sold. I can break that down then by date. I can look at that by product. I can look at that by who purchased. So a pivot table summarizes what's in a list. A chart is a graphical representation of your data. So for instance, on this slide that I have here, you can see a chart. So maybe we've got some salespeople and we want to compare how they did the first through the fourth quarter. And I can see side by side the results for each salesperson. So that would be the charts. And then I think what would be kind of most interesting for you is the templates. Very easy way to get started with Excel. And it's just amazing to me what all we have available for our templates. So let's click here. I did pull up a few just to kind of give you an idea. There are templates where if you need to send customer invoices, there's already a template for that, or a quote to your customer. You can keep track of time cards and employee data. You can work with lists for inventory or a customer list. You can create a profit and loss statement. All of these are readily available in the templates. You can forecast for your business, whether it's a cash flow projection or you've got a sales forecast tracker. So I want to show you what this looks like in Excel. So I'm going to click to open up Excel here. And I pulled these over. I did a screenshot just in case the internet goes down. You know, you always have to have a backup plan. So this is a group of templates. When I typed small business, an inventory list, a small business contact list, an income statement, a cash flow, weekly time record, small business profit and loss. Now I'm going to go to File and choose New. This is where you will see templates. I've recently opened the templates at the top. I have different types of templates listed below. But what I like about this is I can go in and I can type, I'm searching for small business, press enter, and here are templates that I might want to build from. So it's kind of like giving you a starting point. So let's start with this sales invoice. Click on the sales invoice. This is what it looks like. I'm going to create that. Let me pull it over. Okay, so a template means it's a form that you modify for your own uses. So here you could add your logo at the top. You can put in your street address and all of your business information. You can put in your customer's name, company, and information. And then you can fill in the quantity, the description, the unit price, the amount, and this will give you, or the amount will tell you the total that they're spending. At the bottom here, it adds up all of the items. You can put in your tax rate. You can list an additional discount if you have one, and then it will tell you what the balance due is. And you can do this because it's a template, you can use it over and over. I would just save it. Right now it's called Sales Invoice 1. I would save it with the person's name, maybe the date, and then have that as my record. And then when I want to do this again, I go to File, New, and I open up a new template for the same sales invoice and fill it in for a different person. So this is one example. Let me give you another example here. We'll go to File, New, and let's look at there's a weekly time record for small business. I opened this recently, so I could type small business again, but I've recently opened it, so I'm going to click right here, which you can see now. Here's our sales invoice. Next time you want to use it. So here's the weekly time record. Okay, so this is one way you could keep track of hours. You can fill in, there's a little note here, and it says we can fill in the manager's name, the employee's name here, the employee's name down here, the manager's name here. Those are titles above it. Address, you can put in for week ending, and then fill in the days, whether it's regular hours, overtime, sick, vacation. You can change those labels, but then down below, you can enter a rate, the rate per hour, and then it'll tell you their total pay, and it'll give you a grand total. You can then print it, have the employee sign it, and then the manager signs it. So this is an example of a timesheet. Okay, one more I want to show you in here. So we'll go to File, New. So these are templates. And let's look at calendar. So under small business, I found a blank, or no, I think I typed calendar, and I found a blank monthly calendar, which is completely blank. So you would be filling out, let's see, August 1st is on a Saturday. So you'd put 1 here and then fill in the rest of the month. And then you can type anything inside here. But the one I like, let me show you this other one. If I go to File, New, there's this any year calendar. Oops, let me pull that one over. Okay, so for the any year calendar, we are in January of 2020. Notice that January 1st was on a Wednesday. We have a sheet at the bottom for February. February 1st was a Saturday. March 1st was a Sunday. And here's the whole year. Now what's really nice about this, and you can type in each of those boxes. If I go into Print Preview, so let's say go up here to File, Print, you can see that a month fits on a page. So you don't have to worry about trying to get that to fit. It's going to fit each page. There'll be 12 pages because there are 12 months. Okay. Well, here's what I like about this. This is the year 2020, which I'm sure we're all ready to get rid of year 2020. So let's change this to 2021. Now, before I do that, January 1st is on a Wednesday of 2020. I press enter. Now January 1st of 2021 is on a Friday. February 1st starts on a Monday. March 1st also starts on a Monday. So you can see the whole year is already scheduled out because you chose the year. So this is a template that you can use. And I just wanted to show you one of the things I really love about Excel are the templates. So let's close Excel. And we're back to our PowerPoint. So I love the Excel program. Next, let's talk about Microsoft Word. Word is great for creating letters. You can create lists. It'd be perfect for reporting. You can also use templates in Word. And one of the things I like in Word is that you can create flyers, newsletters, brochures. So let me show you a flyer. I've already got a flyer set up here. Here's an example of a flyer. You can change the picture in the background. You can put in the name of your event, take out their text, put in your own text of information about the event. Your key information goes down here at the bottom. So this looks like if I go to File and I choose New. Let me first of all start with Small Business. Show you what kind of things are available in Word. So we have a small business startup checklist, a phone script for small business content calendar. Here's a small business email marketing template. So that would be email that you'd send out, a small business client intake form, an employee evaluation and wage review, small business, all kinds of things available, event postcards, business event postcards, promotional postcards, home business, market analysis and SWOT, business letter, home business plan, all kinds of things. Okay, I'm going to change that and I'm going to look up a flyer. Hopefully you can see all the different flyers that are available. You can use the pictures here. You can change them. If you like the layout, you can just use the layout. There's even some that have where you have the tear off. Did I see that? Oh, I thought I saw the tear off. Okay, let's look at brochures. And to me, if you already have Microsoft Office, why not take advantage of the different templates that are already out there for you? So a brochure, a lot of times it's a threefold brochure. So they've already set that up for you. Give you some nice looking graphics, pictures. You fill in your own text. It's ready to fold over. You just go have it printed and have it fold over. And you've done a lot of this work yourself. Okay, and then the other one I wanted to show you, let me close this down. I want to show you a newsletter. So I have a newsletter available here. So here is an example of a newsletter. So if you send out a newsletter to your clients, you've already got it started, and just take out the canned information and put in your own. So this is another example of using Word. One thing that I mentioned a few minutes ago with Excel, that you could create a list of all of your clients. You can do a mail merge, and a mail merge in Word, you create a document. It could be a letter where maybe we're telling you about a new product that we're offering, or we're having a special sale. So you've got the letter set up, but it's a personalized or an individualized letter that goes out to all of your customers. So you may have 100 people you want to send this to. You've got the list in Excel for all 100 names and addresses, and any personal details that you want to put into the letter. And then you create the mail merge in Word, and you put in placeholders for the name, the address, that little bit of extra information for individuals. And then you've created 100 individualized letters that you can send out, or you can email. You can create an email message and use the email addresses in your Excel spreadsheet, and then it goes out to all 100 people via email instead of through the mail. So mail merge is another nice feature in Microsoft Word. The next program is PowerPoint, and I'm actually using PowerPoint just to show you what all the features are in Microsoft Office. So think of PowerPoint to create presentations. You can showcase new products with PowerPoint. You can show off your new office space. Say you have a group of pictures and you want to kind of show, or let's say you had a big intro of our new products, and you went to a trade show and you have all these pictures of all these new features or new products that are available. You could have a PowerPoint presentation that shows all of your pictures. So when people come into your business, you could have that running and they could see that on a kiosk just on your TV screen. You could use a presentation to introduce your employees. You know, we want you to feel comfortable with all of our employees. Here's a little intro of each employee, or our employee of the week. So different things you can use presentations for. With a presentation, you can add words, shapes, charts, pictures, and even videos. You can create diagrams. And this slide is using a smart art diagram. So it breaks it down, makes it a little easier to understand or a little more interesting. But your diagrams could be instructions for your employees. During COVID, we have this group of instructions. So everybody has to use hand sanitizer right away. You have to be wearing a mask, you know, we know all that. So that could be kind of spelled out in, they call it smart art graphics. But you could have that list of instructions for the employees, or you could have information for your customers created in a diagram, a step-by-step of how to use the product, or you know, whatever it is you're wanting to show them. So PowerPoint can be presented. I can print out my PowerPoint. It has a handout or a takeaway, so everybody has that information. Or if I'm using it for instructions for employees, I could print that out so then they have it in an employee manual or handbook. I can present before a group like I am right now. I can run a presentation as a kiosk. Now that could be when people come into your business, or if you're at a conference and you want to promote your business, you could have a PowerPoint slide running continuously and just showing all of your products, your philosophy, you know, how we do business. All of that could be on your PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so that's PowerPoint. Outlook is a powerful program to send emails and keep your calendar. There are many features that can save you time, which we'll look at in a minute. The search makes it easy to find messages or appointments. So Outlook can be used for email. You can send and receive emails. You can store messages, easily find them. The calendar in Outlook allows you to create appointments and meetings. Contacts lets you keep track of all of your customers, your employee information. anyone, any prospects, that kind of thing. And then there's the task area. So you can create basic tasks in Outlook. You can keep track of the status of tasks. I'll give you an example. I did some work for a bank, and they wanted to use the task feature of Outlook. So when a new customer joins the bank, a task is set up. And so let's say 5 days from the date they signed up, they will receive an email. So a task is set up that says, send an email to that person and, just say, how are things going? We're very happy you've joined our bank. And then maybe 10 days from the time they sign up, we offer a particular service, or these are other services we offer. So we actually use the task part of Outlook to keep track of how long has it been. We want to make sure we hit each one of those markers and send out information and let our new customers know that we care about them and we're here for them. So that's a little bit of the ways you can use Outlook. I do want to show you 3 things in Outlook that are kind of nice and can save you time. We're going to talk about a distribution list. A distribution list can be created for sending emails to the same group. So if I send to all my employees, I can create a distribution list for my group of employees, and then I just type the name of the distribution group. I could have my customers that are on our mailing list. I have all of them in a distribution list. I just type the name of the distribution list and I can send that out. I can schedule meetings with all my employees because I've created a distribution list for my employees. So let's start by looking a little bit at the distribution list. And I just want to show you a little bit of how some of these features work. So if I go down here at the bottom, I go to contacts, I can create a new contact group. Okay, so if I want to call this all employees, and then I can add members from my Outlook contacts, from my address book, or if I don't have them entered already in my contacts, I can add their email address individually. I'm going to say Outlook contacts, and I'm going to start with Lisa. Double click on Lisa's name. I'm going to add Zach. And double click on Zach. Click OK. I've added my employees. I can save and close. I called this all employees. So if I go back to my email, if I want to send a new email, I can type all employees. Here's my distribution list. I can leave the group combined, or I can expand the details and see everyone listed individually. And then I can send a message to my employees. Let's say we're going to have a meeting. So I open up my calendar. I do a new meeting. Required all employees. Yeah, if I can spell that. I can expand the group so I can see everyone listed individually. I set the date, I set the time for my meeting. Instead of listing each person individually, and maybe I forgot someone, I've got the distribution group. Okay, then the second thing we can look at is signatures. So you're probably familiar with the signature where you're putting in your own name, how to contact you, your title, that kind of thing. You can also use signatures for the templates, for the body of the email. Think of it as a canned response. Okay, so let's look at signatures. So I'm going to go to do a new email. And I'll show you up here. I've got signatures. I've got quite a few different signatures that I use for different reasons. I've got one I called Small Business Example. Click on this. Thank you for your interest in training. And then I have a couple of questions. So when people contact us and they want training, I have questions that I always ask. Instead of trying to think, what all do I need to know? I've saved that as a signature, and I've got all that information right there in front of me. Here's another signature. Let's look at class registrations. So we send this out to remind people of a class they've signed up for. And let's look at one more here. What was my third one I was going to show you? Let's see. Oh, lunch and learn reminder. So we're having a lunch and learn. Here's the information about that. And then of course, I would just change any information that's not up to date. But instead of having to recreate something, I have saved those signatures. So it's really cool that you can use signatures. Okay, now let's add those two together. So I always send to my employees a message reminding them to fill out their time cards, let's say. I could create quick steps, which automates repetitive tasks. So let's see what the quick steps looks like. Okay, so I have quick steps. I've got a bunch of them up here already. I've got one called Small Business. So this is going to go to my group, and it says, thank you for your interest in training. All of that's already filled out. The subject's already filled in. I just have to make minor changes. Everything's right there that I need. Let me give you another example. I've got one called Work Schedule. Goes to this group. Here's the work schedule for next week. If you're unable to work when scheduled, please find your replacement. And so I could then attach the work schedule. So this is called Quick Steps. And you can see up here, Quick Steps. There's a little drop-down list, and I could do a new quick step. I could move messages to a folder. I could flag and move them. I could create new emails. I could forward messages, create a new meeting. These are just quick steps that are already set up that you would just fill in your own detail on those quick steps. And as I'm showing you things, if you are interested in how do I do all of these things, we do offer 2-hour classes at Spindustry Training, and we have these different topics. So like this would be the Outlook Intermediate class that we talk about, the signatures and the quick steps and the distribution list, that kind of thing. So just so you know, I'm not showing you how to so much as what can you do today. Okay, so that's—
Hey, Pam.
Yeah.
We've got another question here, if you don't mind. Can you schedule those to go out automatically, or do you have to manually go in and send those?
That's a good question. Can they be scheduled? Now, I think what you do, you would use a quick step, but you'd also go into, let me show you here, just a second. Get back into Outlook. Okay, so I would probably go into, well, if I do follow up, that's going to remind me of it. But I could set it up, and I bet I could set it up when I'm making the quick step. If I go into options and I do delay delivery, do not deliver before this date, this time, I could set it possibly there, but I don't know that I could have it be an automatic, you know, this goes out the first Monday of every month. I don't know that Outlook has that available in the basic Outlook program right now. It's another thing I can check on. Can they be scheduled automatic for quick steps? You guys have great questions.
And I've got one more for you, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Tony has a follow-up. Are there different levels of 365, like business or professional or home, like there was before, or is it just one product?
My IT guy would know that. I do think there are different levels that you can get, like the small business. You can get like the professional, and they have different features with them. And then I know that you can turn off certain features if you don't want all of your employees to have all of the features, that you can set some limits on that. Yeah, I'll see what I can find on that. If there's like a sheet of features when purchasing Microsoft 365. Yeah, I'll see if I
I'm
can.
going to share a resource from the Microsoft website that might be what you're looking for here also.
Perfect. Yeah, that's not usually my expertise on that end of it. Mine's more the using the software. Good questions. Okay, so we've talked about the Outlook features, and we've talked about the Microsoft Office suite. Now, Microsoft 365, I want to show you some software and features here. This is where we have OneDrive, Teams, Planner, Forms, Stream, Shift. Those are just a few. There's many apps, and they're always adding new apps, which is interesting. Okay, so Microsoft 365 includes Office apps, and you can achieve more with innovative Office apps. We're going to look at a few of those apps in a minute and kind of see what they do. Then Microsoft 365 also has intelligent cloud service. Your files are stored in the cloud. You can access your files from any computer that has internet access. And then world-class security, because I know people worry about how secure is it if I'm saving my files in the cloud. You use your username and your password to get into your files, and a lot of times you can go into a program like Teams and you attach a file, but then when you go to open the file, it's going to verify. You have to tell again, what is your username, what is your password? And you can even have two-factor authentication set up so it goes to your phone that you have to verify. Yep, I got this. This is who I am. So world-class security goes with Microsoft 365. They want to keep everything secure for you. Let's start by looking at OneDrive. So OneDrive is a storage system. This is where you would save your individual files to the cloud. You can open files from any computer with the internet. So let's say that you're visiting with a client in their office and you want to open up the proposal you've been working on with them. You could log in as yourself, get to the file, have it right there on the screen when you're talking with them. When you're on vacation, you could open up a file. Maybe you want to know what's the schedule look like, who's supposed to be working. By storing to OneDrive or SharePoint, you can share files and you can collaborate with others. So if we open a file that's saved on OneDrive or SharePoint, we can be working in real time and we can actually be adding things to that file and see that immediately as someone else is making changes or adding things to that same file. So OneDrive is more your personal cloud file system. And then we have SharePoint. We could do a whole day on SharePoint. So SharePoint is your document repository. Could be your intranet. You can store documents, you can manage documents, keep track of extra data of your documents and share your documents. So I could see a human resource department putting all the forms that you might need to fill out in SharePoint. instead of in OneDrive so that all can get to those files. It's also a records management tool. It allows you to classify your documents so you can put all your policies together, easy to find, all your meeting minutes, operating procedures, so you can search and easily get to those documents. So that's just a little bit. SharePoint is also in the cloud. Microsoft Teams is kind of the program or the app that pulls everything together for Microsoft 365. In Teams, you can have a private or a group chat. So I could be on a chat with someone and I want to turn it into a phone call or a meeting. I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. Or I could share my screen. So if I'm trying to talk about a certain feature, I can share my screen and you can actually see that feature. You can schedule online meetings in Teams. So you can talk to people individually, you can schedule meetings with people, kind of like we're doing with this Zoom call. And then what's really the bulk of Teams is creating a team and channels within that team. So think of a team as a group of people, and in that group, you have different topics or different channels that you share information. So just like we do with the private chat, we create a team and then we can talk to each other about that product, about that employee information, whatever it is, you can do that in your channels. You can also attach files. So let me show you Teams. Here is Microsoft Teams. You can see over here on the left, we have a chat, we have a Teams area, we have a calendar, and then our files. So in the chat, I can create a basic chat. Sally Jones and I have been having a chat. So you can kind of see I've attached a file for her. She's given me praise. I'm asking her a question. And I can attach files, I can attach videos with this. And this could be a group chat. There could be a group of people in this chat area together. So this is like your instant messaging. And to me, it's easier than trying to go back to your Outlook and find, with my coworkers, we were talking about this particular topic. Save those topics to put them in chat and just do all that instant messaging back and forth here in chat. So I'm chatting with Sally and I realized, gosh, it'd be easier if we just talked. Up at the top, I just click on audio call and now I'm calling her. She's already talking to me in Teams. She just picks up the call and we talk. Or we could turn on the video and have a video call. If I want to show her what my screen looks like, right up here at the top, I can screen share so she can see what I'm talking about. Now, Teams, we create a team. I have a project team, and then in my project team, I have different projects. So here's my ABC project, and I've got different people involved in this team. I can share files. I can, let's say that you're trying to show someone how to do something. You can even, in here, you could schedule it into a meeting at the top here. I can say, I want to meet now, and I'm meeting with everyone in this channel. And when I meet now, I don't know if I dare to do that since we're in Zoom and meeting. Let me try that. Meet now. Turn off my camera. But if I say meet now, I can go right here to this little dot, 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 and I can start recording. So I can record what we're talking about. I can share my screen. I could then go and share what's on my screen. And then I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to stop recording the meeting, stop recording, and then I'm going to hang up from the meeting. So lots of things I can do when I'm inside Teams. And you can see now that the meeting is ended, the recording is stopped, and it's saving the recording to Microsoft Stream. So if I recorded everything, we were talking, here's step by step how we're going to do something. I have that information, which is going to be part of Stream, which is part of the Microsoft 365 program. Okay, so that's a little bit of Teams. Also within Teams, I have my chat or my posts, and then I have a files tab. So if I've attached any files in this ABC project, I can go and look at all of the files directly in here. I can even set up my email messages so that I can look at, I can share an email message into our channel. If there's one of these, let's say this ABC project that we use it all the time, rather than have to go to files and choose the ABC project, I have added a tab at the top, which takes me to that file. And so anytime we want to get in and work on this file, here we are. I can go back to posts when I'm done, and that tab is still available. So I kind of think of Teams as being the hub. Do all your work from within Teams, create your channels, break them down into topics, put your conversations, put your files, set up your meetings from within Teams, record your meetings and that kind of thing also in Teams. So that's the Teams program. Now, while we're in Teams, I'll come back to that in just a second. So a program that can be used in Teams is called Shift. You can add employees' schedules to Shift. Your employees can access Shift from their phone, and the manager controls the program. So I just want to show you this briefly. I know I'm running short on time. So it's part of Teams. I go over to this little more added apps. I choose Shifts. And I can create a shift. This is for my projects team. So I can add, these are all the people that are part of this team, and we can add days we're working, days off. You can come in here, add time off or add your shift. You can request days off. You can switch with someone else. So this is just a little bit about this new app called Shift that's available, and you get to it through Teams. Okay, let's minimize that. I also want to mention, we talked a little bit about Microsoft Forms. You can create surveys, polls, and questionnaires. You can then gather the data and the insights from your employees or customers. So you may create a questionnaire and send it out to all of your customers and ask them for feedback on a particular product or what they'd like to see. And then the emails come back to you in a form. You get responses back in a report. So we saw a little bit of that when we were creating or filling out the form earlier. If I have a minute, I'll come back to that one. Planner is a simple visual way to organize your work. So Microsoft Planner lets you organize your projects. You can share files, you can assign tasks, and you can chat with other collaborators. You create a plan to include work items like meetings or tasks. Each plan has its own board. Work items are represented by a card. Cards may include the due date, the comments, the attachment, categories, or a checklist. Cards can be organized into buckets on the board. change the view on the board to track your progress. So let me show you that real briefly here. We'll look at Planner. It's a great way to kind of know what your day includes. Okay, so this is Planner. And we've got, this is our board. My board here is Laura's vacation trip. And so she has a bucket called Planning Stages. She's created a card. You can just add a task, put in what you want your task to be, ask for time off. If I click on this, here's the detail of the card. It's, have you started this? What's the priority of it? You can put a start and a due date. So it's a simplified project management system, but it works with the Microsoft Office. And I can even add labels over here. I can add a checklist. So if I have like a ask for time off, but maybe there's 3 steps that go with that, I can add that into the checklist. And then I can also look at this as a chart. What's not started, what's in progress, what's late, what's completed. I can see it broken down by buckets, by priority. I can see what members have done what. So this is called Planner. Microsoft Planner. Microsoft Stream, I talked a little bit about Microsoft Stream. So I'm going to go back to that Teams video. So we have Teams. We were in the ABC project. Here's that video I created. And if I click on this, I can open this in Microsoft Stream, which all my videos will then show up in Stream. What we're talking about, I can share my screen. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm talking like I did earlier. Share what's on my screen. I'm soon going to share the screen so you can see the screen. And then I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to stop recording the meeting. Stop recording. Okay, so I can create videos in Stream for internal videos. You could even set this up for a learning management system. So what's cool about this, let me show you it in a different, got one over here. When you create a Stream video, you see a transcript of the words that were recorded, and you can easily search through that transcript to see who said what. If you want, if this is a learning management system, you could go to interactivity and you can add a poll where you're asking questions. So let's say I created a video about our procedures for COVID-19. So I'm going to list everything in this video. I'm going to show you what your procedures are, but then I'm going to give you a quiz at the end of this video just to make sure that you really went through this. And I can add my questions, and you have to fill out those questions after you watch the video. So all of that is built into Microsoft 365. Those are just a few of the products, probably the most popular products that we use. And let's go back here. So your learning management system, it can actually translate to other languages too, which is really cool. It transcribes the words spoken in the video. You saw a little of that. You can create a form to test what is retained. So what people retained from the video, and you can keep track of the scores of that video. Okay, so just, I know that was a quick hour overview of Microsoft Office. If you're interested in training, like I said, we do have training classes. I've got my email address on here. You will be getting a handout of this PowerPoint presentation so that you can go back and send me an email if you've got questions. If you're interested in classes, I can send you a list of those classes. And thank you so much for attending. Is there any more questions out there, Zach?
I don't think we have any more questions at the moment, I'll give everybody another minute or so if they want to type one out before we end. But in the meantime, I'll say we've been putting out a lot of content like this, digital content, in the last few months, which is great if that's the best way you learn. But I want to recognize that everybody learns a little differently. So if you're not getting the resources and the help that you need from us, we want to be able to provide that in the way that is most beneficial for you and your business. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Keep checking in on our website for new education opportunities, new resources that we're putting out for everybody. And we also have a calendar scheduler for one-on-one consultations. If you want to just talk to us face-to-face, well, with a computer screen in between us for now. But we, like I said, we want to talk to everybody and help however we can. And one of those ways is having great resources like Pam come in and talk to us about Microsoft Office. So Pam, thank you so much for your help today.
Thank you.
And if we don't have any other questions, thanks everybody. I will be sending out an email, a follow-up email with all the resources and links that we shared today. And until then, thanks for joining us today.
Everyone, good luck with your Microsoft Office.
Have a great day.